Welcome to the Unbuttoned Up podcast, where career talk gets real and a little unbuttoned.
We're here to help you land the job, get the promotion, and make your next move without sounding like a corporate robot.
Are you climbing the ladder or are you plotting your escape? We are saying what everyone's thinking at work, but we are saying it out loud.
So grab your coffee or cocktail and let's get unbuttoned. Saxon, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Excited to have you. You have your own podcast, so you're a pro at this.
Yeah.
So, and your podcast is called Skin in the Game.
Podcast called Skin in the Game. Yeah. You guys check it out. Audience, check it out. Really focused on entrepreneurs and investors, looking at and hearing stories. I mean, that's the biggest thing for our podcast. We want to tell stories of entrepreneurs, how they got to where they're at, not the technical jargon bullshit that you hear like on, these other podcasts. It's really, how did you get to where you are? What are some like deep, dark secrets that you had to do to make it happen?
The unbuttoned up version.
It kind of is. Yeah. Maybe we should change the name.
To the unbuttoned up.
The unbuttoned up male version of the podcast. I'm going to start that.
All right.
That name's copyrighted by you guys. So it's all right.
All right. So you are CEO of Florida Funders.
Yes.
And we want to hear about Florida Funders. First of all, tell us and our listeners what Florida Funders is, for those who don't know, and then we'll...
Cool. Well, first off, thank you guys always for your support of Florida Funders. We've done so much business together over the years. So much appreciated. Dan Rodriguez, your guys' partner, great friend of the firm, investor of Florida Funders, and means the world with everything that we've done together over the years. So just want to put that out there.
Big supporters.
Thank you. Great fans. We do a lot together too in the charity world. Steph and I do. We do a lot together with Tony DiBenedetto and Think Big for Kids, but that's for another time. So Florida Funders is an early stage venture capital firm. So we invest in technology companies all around the country. We love to invest in Florida if we can, but we'll invest all over the country. Primarily invest B2B, so business to business companies. And when you think about the types of companies that we're investing in, you can think as early as pre-seed. Pre-seed in our world, that's jargon, means pre-revenue, or companies that aren't really making much money. Up and through Series B companies, those are typically companies doing anywhere from 10 to 25 million in revenue. But if you look at our direct down the fairway, like what is our wheelhouse? It's going to be a late seed or early Series A investment. And that is usually companies doing about 100,000 to give or take $5 million in annual revenue. So we're investors, right? We get into these companies, we buy ownership in the businesses, and then we try to get as involved as we can. So we invest in categories that we know, myself plus my 4 partners. We're all former entrepreneurs. We come from building venture-backed technology companies, primarily B2B companies, things like fintech, cybersecurity, future of work, software as a service. So those are the types of things that we invest in. And we've got 2 different kind of choose your own adventure paths from an investor standpoint. We have our venture capital funds, which are institutional funds, about a $300 million business on that side. And then we have our investor network. So accredited investors can sign up, they can talk to somebody on the team, and then they can invest alongside of the fund when we make it available. So instead of going in a fund, writing $1 million check, you can invest $5,000 into a company that you're interested in or that maybe you like. So that's what we do, headquartered right here in Tampa, not too far from you guys.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
What are you seeing in what are startups, what's the hottest technology that people are investing in and that startups are... what's the biggest need out there right now?
Yeah, it's a good question. The broad-based answer is AI. Everybody's hearing that. I know you guys have a whole business unit now sort of focused on that. But let me go back to sort of how venture works in these cycles. So in our world, they're called hype cycles, like hyped up, right? Because we're always trying to invest in what's next. We're not the public markets. We're not looking for profitable companies. We're looking for growth companies, and you have to invest in what's next. What is going to be the next NVIDIA? What's going to be the next Meta? That's what we're looking for, that diamond in the rough type company, right? So there's these hype cycles where you don't want to be too early in the hype cycle because then the companies are too early, there's no adoption. You don't want to be too late in the hype cycle because then you're paying too much for the companies. Adoption has already happened. So you want to be sort of at like this peak of the hype cycle. You want to find companies right when they're like in the middle of this cycle. So in my career doing this 10 years, we've really gone through about 3 cycles. The first one, maybe 4, but three pretty big ones. The first one was like this artificial intelligence. I'm sorry, this first one, virtual reality and augmented reality. It still really hasn't taken off, but that was like early, like 2013, 2014, everybody was talking about it. Then there was the crypto hype cycle, which was huge, like especially in Florida. We know like Miami was the crypto capital. It tanked for a while. Now it seems like it's really stabilized and is back, but that was a huge hype cycle, like a 3, maybe 4-year hype cycle. Now we're in like the mega hype cycle, which is artificial intelligence. The difference between this hype cycle and these other hype cycles, specifically crypto, is the crypto hype cycle. Crypto was only about 5 years old when the hype cycle started. If you look at artificial intelligence and machine learning as a whole has been around for decades. This is just the application and the generative use of AI and the mass adoption of AI. I mean, everybody, all of us here, clearly every day, whether it's Claude at work, OpenAI at home, whatever it might be, we're using artificial intelligence products, right? They're running our lives at this point, and it's only just at the precipice of it. So, Steph, to answer your question, AI is hot, but it's a little bit too hot, right? Like there's these innings. Mm-hmm. First inning was the LLMs, like the large language models, OpenAI, Anthropic. These companies are now, 900. The last valuation for Anthropic, 900 billion, 840 billion for OpenAI, right? That was like level 1. Then you had inning 1. Then you have inning 2, which was what we call wrappers, not like rappers, but not like wrapped on top of these systems. So like a plugin basically to look nice, but all it's doing is like pinging ChatGPT or pinging Anthropic, like getting an answer back, but it looks sexy, it looks good, it's a nice website type thing. So then you had the wrappers. Then you had like the third cycle, which was the third inning. I keep saying cycle. The third inning, which was like vertical specific enterprise AI solutions. So for example, we invested in a company that does like specifically RFP management and RFP creation. So like very specific for solving one problem inside of AI. So that for the last about year and a half has been like where a lot of the investment is going. And now that's really hot. Like that's too expensive. We're sort of past like that pinnacle of the hype. We're at like you're paying too much for these companies, in my opinion, unless you have a great founder, great product, great price, but it's hard to find right now. Where we're now at is the fourth inning, which is really getting interesting. And it's this agentic artificial intelligence, which is basically, easiest terms, like bots working together without human in the loop. And it is nothing short of scary and nothing short of fascinating. And so we're seeing a lot of new companies now come out with agentic solutions. Like last week, we saw this company where, and I don't know if you guys have heard anything like this, but let me know if you have. So you're going to buy a car, right? And you build on Claude an agent. And your agent is going to reach out to you, want to buy a brand new Porsche, right? Beautiful car. Beforehand, you would call your local 5 Porsche dealerships. Hey, do you have the 911? I'm looking for this car, this color, and you try to negotiate maybe and figure out between these 4 dealerships if you can get this car. Well, fast forward to today, you go to Claude, you build an agent that reaches out to 1,000 dealerships in a split second, finds where you can find this car, negotiates against all these other different dealerships that have the car and finds you the best price. So that is a buyer's agent, right? Well, what about on the other side? So if you're a seller, it's usually, hey, somebody from the car dealership calls you back. Hey, we have this car. This is what we're asking. You haggle a little bit. Maybe you can get that deal done. But if you're a human on the other side of a bot and this bot is 10 times faster than you as a human, you can't keep up with the speed of volume. So we saw this company that is building seller's agents so that when a buyer's agent reaches out to a seller's agent, there is a negotiation that happens in a split second between 2 agents to fundamentally get the best price for the end buyer. And if you believe that this is the future, these are the types of things that you would want to be investing in.
That's one of amazing. Your companies or one of the Florida Thunder?
We didn't invest in this company because we're still looking at it. But you have to fundamentally believe that this is the future. And I think the way I feel is like this is maybe a part of the future. But in my opinion, and I know you guys operate the same way, nothing will ever replace relationships, interactions, and human involvement. So I don't think it's going to be purely based on agentic.
Well, I love that you said they're solving one specific problem, because we're talking to companies all the time, from startup, mid-size, extremely large companies, and they're looking at AI as a beast, right? And so they don't know where to start. We're seeing some people take the back seat to really figure out what are companies doing. Technology is ever changing. Which way do we go? And so that specific problem is huge, like just solving one problem. I mean, we're doing that within our company with AI, but we're starting very small. So
yeah, I mean, you have to, right? You can't boil the ocean overnight. The other thing that we're seeing, and it kind of goes back to models that you guys are used to, is the SaaS world was a world where there wasn't much human intervention. If you try to get somebody on the phone at Uber or Airbnb, good luck. Like, you can't do it, right? So for the past 10 years, that sort of dominated the market because it's less people, higher margin. With these AI systems, we're now seeing what's called forward deployed engineers. So actual individuals, like consultants, basically going in with these products and implementing them so that the employees of a business can be more effective using the entire solution, not just using 5 or 10% of the solution, but being able to use 80, 90, 100% of the solution. And it really goes back to like Microsoft ERP implementations. Nobody's implementing Microsoft ERP on their own, right? They're hiring the TriBridges of the world to do this, to have a services component involved. So now we're really seeing this intersection of services with AI software. And funny enough, I saw a friend of mine just walk by who has a cybersecurity company that is the integration of services and AI, and they're doing extremely well in that space.
Right. And the forward deployment engineer that you mentioned, forward
deployed engineer. Yeah.
And it's a mix of tech and consulting.
Yeah, exactly. It's putting
right?
somebody in there to be able to ensure that you're getting the most out of the software that you can, and that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's inherently, it makes sense, right? So that's what we are seeing now with like these bigger companies. And yesterday I was reading an article, both Anthropic and OpenAI have invested now about $1.5 to $2 billion in creating their own internal consulting firms to go out and implement their systems inside of enterprise companies. So that all these consultants that are saying, oh, we're going to do this, there's a world here where the companies are just doing it themselves and bringing this in-house because they have so much capital to be able to do so, and they want to control the whole stack.
Crazy. It's
interesting.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting time, and as I said before, we're just at the beginning. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What one piece of advice would you give someone who wanted to start a new tech company?
Yeah.
Because you've seen so many. Like, what would you say?
I always tell people, like, you want to make sure that you're not just going to solve a problem that's your own problem. Like, you want to make sure that other people have this problem, aka you can at some point sell to somebody and get customers, because that's all that matters is revenue and customers. If you're solving a problem specifically for yourself, inherently maybe some other people have this issue, but that's not really a great use of starting a business. So you want to do some market research, like understand, what are the current solutions, what's out there, how many people are having this problem. The other thing is, early on, you want to just do anything you can to get traction. And if anybody's heard me speak, like, I always talk about this. Early on, it might not be revenue, it might not be sales, because it's hard to get that, but you want to show something, whether it's partnerships, whether it's an LOI with a big business, whether it's users, whether it's just showing that people are testing your product, whatever it might be. Early on, you need to be able to show that there's some sort of traction, because you have to show investors that, hey, there's something here. Early on, because it's hard to show, you're not going to have sales. Like, what can you show that, hey, there's something here, people are interested in this? So I always say, go back to the word traction. Like, early on, do your market research, understand the market. Is this a big problem? Get traction as early as possible, because those are going to be like fuel for the fire early on.
Yeah. Great advice. Absolutely. All right. Anything else you want to add before?
Well, you wanted me to unbutton my shirt.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
We are getting
so now it's more the personal side, right? We were button talking business. Yes. Now it's personal. We got a good summer coming up. We got a few trips. I'm going to Ireland on golf trip.
Great.
Can't wait. Are you a good golfer?
I wouldn't say I'm a good golfer.
Okay.
Actually, that's not true. I would say I'm a good golfer.
You have fun.
I'm not a great golfer.
I can think
I'm
of
like,
you.
I'm like a 12 handicap.
So I can think of you for a scramble though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. Love to have a good time out there.
Okay.
I'm a ringer sometimes too, because I'm like in the point where my handicap's not too high or too low, but I can shoot pretty low sometimes, 1 out of 10 times, and I get a lot of shots. So could come in and win. So we got that. We got a trip up to New York. We got a few weddings. So it's going to be a great summer. New York City wedding, and then we're going to the Hamptons for a week.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'll be a good summer. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to summer this
What are you doing?
Going to California.
Oh yeah, where are you going?
For a wedding.
Oh,
San
nice.
Diego.
Oh, that'll be amazing.
And then we're going to go up the coast, see Yosemite, Carmel.
Family trip or just you?
Family.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Bringing
That'll
the
be
kids.
awesome.
Going to Pigeon Forge for baseball. And
I have stories about Pigeon Forge. That's for another podcast.
another time.
We used to do our college formals. We'd rent these big houses in Pigeon Forge.
Oh, I bet that was a fun time.
Yeah, it was a good time. Once again, for another podcast. The other podcast that we were talking about before. The in real life stream that we can talk about it then. What else?
Well, I just got back from skiing in Whistler, so that was great.
Was there any snow?
We got like the last good day.
Good.
And we were
Good.
like our skis were in mud at the end, but we arrived at our hotel at our ski in, ski out. So
Yeah, no, that's all that matters. Straight to the mudslide straight to the hotel.
And I'm just doing house projects this year. I'm teaching
New
myself.
house or what?
Well, it's 100 years old. It's one of the old.
Not a new
bungalows.
house.
No.
Quite
But
the opposite.
I'm
But
teaching
is it a new
myself-
house for you?
New house for me, for us. But I'm teaching myself things, and it feels so rewarding.
impressive.
It's like, I don't know if the audience knows this, but you're a true Scotty.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what Scotties do. They fucking.
We work really
I'm allowed
hard.
to say that. My wife is from Wisconsin.
Exactly.
These people, like, they don't hire people to do things. No.
No.
They do this shit
We do it-
themselves.
We do it ourselves, and we love every second.
It's
of it.
amazing. No.
No.
Well, guys, appreciate you. Enjoy the summer. It's great to see you too.
Great seeing you.
Yeah, and have a great Memorial Day weekend.
Thank you. You
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
You
Cool.
too.
Everything.
Thanks, Saxon.
Bye.
Bye.